Hey guys, the brakes on my car are finally working, and I think that the reason they were having trouble is it's a common issue a lot of people with the Tundra swapped front brakes up there have, and that's just having it feel like there's air in the system all the time, regardless of everything you try. I went through like a couple boosters and master cylinders, but there's two main things that are gonna help. The second one more than the first one. But the two things I'll do is I've got a brake booster and a master cylinder from a T100. So I'll swap those out, bench bleed it and everything. And the second thing is I'm gonna do an ABS delete, which is pretty simple, but you do need some specific parts. I'll show you guys how to get those. Either way, the ABS is mainly the problem in these things. They get like either air trapped in them or they go bad, but it works great now. And this is the first time I've been able to drive it in so long. So I hope this helps if you have the same problem. Otherwise, if you're just watching along with the build, enjoy, and I'll throw you guys back to yesterday. So my workspace is in the trunk of this other car here, but I've got the booster in the master cylinder, and as you can see, this end looks pretty similar, and that should bolt right up. And the part that's different is this, but that also fits right up to the new master cylinder, so we should be good there. Just the main concern is if these ports are gonna fit the same size. So I think I'll start with the booster. Something that I've learned since the last time I worked on this when I did that brake booster is there's a tool that you get that's like this little thing that matches up to one side of the brake booster, and it measures the distance that you're going to have to adjust the brake booster to fit the new master cylinder, because this little nut here is adjustable, and you want to change the adjustment based on whatever master cylinder that you're putting in, or booster, whatever. Really quick, for those of you that don't know, this is my HX Civic that I'm going to be starting soon building. This is the most recent part I've got for that build. I want to do a wrinkle red paint on this thing, make it look really cool, put it on that EK. I've also got these 8th gen SI seats. I'm gonna fit these into the EK as well. I've got a lot of parts. There's some like brid Chinese material that I've got that I'm gonna fit to the door cards. That'll be a really cool build. While I'm back here though, I've got over here in the corner, Northwest Trail Innovation, I think. Front bumper that's a steel weld-on, like weld-together kit. And the guy did some horrible welds. This was just a really lucky find from the junkyard. I think it's an older model they don't make anymore, but considering that this thing goes for probably like $650 and it's already half welded together, but I think I could fix up a lot of the welds on it. That's something to look forward to for sure though. That'll be probably the cheapest front bumper anyone's ever done. All right, back to the task at hand. I think this is gonna mark the 100th time I've done this. So let's see if it works this time. Before I get started, I'm actually curious to see if this plug is gonna fit right in. Dude, no way. That's actually awesome. I'm really liking this in-trunk workstation I got going on. So that worked. I basically just counted the threads and tried to put it in the same spot that it was. Should all bolt together now, hopefully. We'll see. I also threw this gasket that was on the old one just on here. Not sure what it does, but I am aware that this is the worst vice setup you've ever seen in your life, but this is what I got. So this is all from like a master cylinder bleeding kit that I bought on Amazon. All right, so I think I've got it set up mainly how they want. You just need one line going from one of the ports, one line going from the other one. I'm just gonna fill this with fluid. I gave up on trying to reuse the old fluid. I'll just fill it with some new stuff and pump this until you see no more air going through and you just get it all bubbling out the top. All right, well, it's all done. The whole thing is installed, working. I didn't bleed it or anything, but just based on test driving it without bleeding it, the car feels the exact same as it did before. And I'm fairly certain that that ABS pump is my problem. I think that once I get everything working, this is gonna feel a lot better having that master cylinder upgraded. But the next thing I'm gonna do is head to the junkyard really fast and pick up what you need is a T-fitting. It's just the easiest way to get it is to get it off this car because there's one in the back that's basically exactly what you need. So I'm gonna go grab one of those from the junkyard, and I might go to the hardware store and just pick up the straight through fitting. And the reason you need all that is just to bypass the ABS pump, and you just put those fittings and run the lines straight into each other, and that makes it so you don't need the pump in between the lines anymore. So regardless of what the problem is, getting rid of the pump entirely should solve it, and I'll head out right now. Right here is the part that I actually went there for, and I can show you guys how to get this off. I got some footage with no sound basically at the junkyard, but with that, and let's see if I have it in my pocket. With that plus this thing, which I got at AutoZone, I can put the link for that so that you guys can tell them what the part number is in the description. But just those two fittings are all you need to bypass the whole ABS system. Looking at the ABS pump, this little bolt right here, plus that one down there, looks like that's all that's holding it on. So I'm gonna take those off and get this unplugged and see what that does. Okay, I don't know if you guys can hear the car alarm that's going off indefinitely, but aside from that, first thing I'm gonna do is try to wash this thing off so that it's not all messed up from the junkyard anymore. All right, so the way this works is you want this one right here, the very end, is the master cylinder feed for the front, and then these are the two fronts. So you want this one to be the top of the T right here, and then these two split off onto the sides, and then these two are just the back feed, I think, and then the backs. So these just get fed right straight into each other with that one from AutoZone. So in my best effort to limit my chance of making a huge mess, I'm gonna try to start with these two back brakes. Not sure if I'm gonna be able to fully reach those to get them off, but I'll see if I can just put this straight through. All right, so that went pretty well. I just tried to bend them in a way that they would go through and meet each other, but there might be a better way to arrange that later on. For now, I'm just trying to get it hooked up. So let me try to do the same thing. I'll try to remove these two first for that T. And with that, it's all done. So, well, maybe I should have kept the towel in there because I don't want to spill all the fluid that's still in this. Now you are going to get an ABS light from this, but there's a way to pin these out that you can prevent that. So I'm going to look for the way to do that, and I will post whatever forum I find in the description in case you guys need to repin yours. But I'm going to try to bend these down to find a lower point, and I'll probably reuse that bolt from here to try to bolt this in to the frame a little bit so that it stays down, because I'm pretty sure you have to keep that master cylinder over there the highest point in the system. Therefore, I'm gonna try to lower these lines a bit. All right, so I needed to find a longer bolt out of my 4Runner bolt collection to bridge the gap between, if you remember, there was a little lip that like arced over on that mount. So if you cut that off, you could use the other bolt, but I didn't feel like doing all that, so I just got a longer bolt and I really pressed it down, so now it's in there. All right, well, I was not paying attention and it's kind of hard to see for you guys, but see how bent up that is? When I was torquing it down, it totally just bent that line straight up. And I'm pretty sure, yeah, it definitely is leaking. There's like fluid all over now. So I'm going to run AutoZone before that leaks out too much and just get a flaring and a cutter kit so that I can re-flare an end on that, hopefully. It's me from the future again, but the whole thing is done, and as you can see, the ABS is gone. The whole thing is together, no leaks. I was driving it around for a good while and it's all good. So I don't know how much I caught on camera, but the problem I ran into is one of these was leaking. I think it was a really stupid mistake because I'm pretty sure I just forgot to tighten one of them and it was leaking. And it really looked like it was coming from the other one. But then when I put my phone down there to record it, I saw that the leak was coming from one of the left ones on the T. So I shortened that cable. Now at least I know how to flare a brake line. Just getting the kit at AutoZone, flaring them was actually really easy. So don't be scared to do that. Really, it went all right, and I didn't even do it perfect and it's still sealed. So that's good. But yeah, basically it's all done. Mine is short and it's ugly because I shortened the line and I can't reach to mount this anymore. I'd like to say I'll fix that one day, but I don't know that that's true because really not looking forward to ever cracking one of those brake lines open again. But it works and is bled. It works great for the first time ever. So now that the car is functioning, I can get to work doing all these other mods that I have on it. So stay tuned for, I've got a steel bumper I'm gonna throw on, headlights, a grille. I've got the back half of my lift that I got lucky and found at the junkyard. So I'll get the front at some point and throw that on. I've got speakers all around, a really cool radio I'm gonna fit into this thing that should be really easy and way different and way better than what most people do. It's like a CarPlay with 2 knobs on it. It's like slightly bigger than the double din normal size. It looks a lot nicer. And yeah, that's it for today. So stay tuned for all that stuff and thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys next time.